Are you ready to learn? Because my super experienced guests are ready to share some really valuable information. Make sure and listen all the way to the end to get help and support. So let's start with the best audio experience.
What's up, guys? Welcome to our show. Today we discuss about self-awareness and using the world of energy, how you can find your resource of energy. And I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Duke, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, a big pleasure because I know how it's important to have energy, especially when I'm working hard, so and sometimes I can feel tiredness, and for me it's important to find extra energy. Before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and why you decided to share with us about self-awareness and energy.
So yeah, my journey was very much a health journey. For about 12 years, I had chronic back pain, had other injuries and illnesses as well, but the chronic back pain was the thing that fueled me. And after 12 years of having chronic back pain every day, trying everything, and I mean everything, it started off going to the doctors. In England, we call it GP, and it got more alternative. And I wouldn't say I was close to giving up, but I was at the point, I was like, I've tried everything. I've tried meditating for 10 hours a day. And I've tried everything. I've tried alternative therapies. And, as luck would have it, serendipity, divine contracts came through. And I met someone who, I just felt the pull so strongly. I was like, I don't know what this person is or what they do, but I just feel there's such a strong pull. And cut a long story short, I was in a spiritual circle that they were leading, and someone else was sharing about their abuse and their trauma. And all of a sudden, that moment, call it divine timing, call it a divine appointment, I just started shaking and releasing and vibrating. And I literally just saw everything in my life flash before me, like hundreds of scenes flash in front of me. And I literally saw everything that had led up to that moment, all the decisions, all the beliefs, all the dichotomies, everything I'd held on to, why I had the chronic back pain, what had caused the chronic back pain. And everything just dropped in. And the next day, the pain was gone. And that was really, the start of it. I was like, okay, I've got more and more into the health and more alternative health, but this level of understanding from the soul's perspective, now my back pain is gone. And that was 10 years ago, which feels crazy. That was 10 years ago. And then ever since then, I've helped thousands of clients to do the same, whether it's aches, pains, illnesses. And for me, the thing that I'm most passionate about is, it's not everyone's game as a soul having a human experience. It's not everyone's journey, but for those souls that are looking to truly understand why something happened to them, why they have something, why things are showing up in their life, repeating relationship patterns, repeating money patterns, sabotaging your business, whatever it might be. My invitation is that if you truly don't understand it to the depth of your soul, maybe, just maybe, that is what your soul is waiting for you to get. And once you get it, everything can change like magic, because you've got the thing, you've understood the thing, and you've become the embodiment you need to be to go on with the next phase of your life.
Nice. It's interesting. I got some energy after your speech. Yeah, you inspire. Okay. I found one interesting data. 70% of people are unhappy with their jobs. I think, if you are unhappy to do something, it's hard to find any energy. And what people can do, just go home after 8 hours and can watch TV. The average data shows like 5-6 hours a day people can watch TV. It's a lot, crazy. Can you tell how to change this attitude? When you are so tired after job, you can't do anything else. Because for me, I had the same thing. Once I decided to launch a business with the goal to chase money, nothing else. I didn't know anything about this topic. I failed. I wasted resources, 3 years, a team of specialists. I hired a big team, but we failed because I didn't understand the topic. The main goal was money. I hated Monday, loved Friday. And when I quit, I got it. Oh, the best thing that I did just to quit this business, because many other things I can do, because I can find something that I like to do. Can you tell about unhappiness in your job? What to do? Because 70% of people, a lot, most people hate their jobs. Why? What's the reason?
Yeah, it's for me, it's the game is changing, the dynamic is changing, and more people on this planet. We've had thousands of years essentially of oppression, and that's okay. Men, women, everyone. And there's been a level of now the last 200 years, we've got more, especially in the West, we've got more into, okay, we can have a safe environment, we can have a nice home, we can have all those things. And now it's time for the next phase. And the next phase of so many souls on this planet, of the collective consciousness of this game that we're all playing, is now can we actually express and be in our true expression? And, whereas 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, just being able to have a nice home, have a family, have plenty of food, amazing. Now souls are asking for more, and they're saying, okay, now let's be this expression that we've come here to be. Let's live our purpose. And really the biggest advice I'll give to anyone listening, anyone watching this, there are kind of two, just to give a kind of clarity, because there are two main trains of thought. There's very much the masculine personal development, self-help, marketing, business world, which is, it doesn't really matter what your passion is. Look at who the clients are that you can sell something to, pick a hot market, build a business around that, make lots of money, you'll be happy. And it might be confusing if you see that stuff and you see people that are happy in that, like, why are they happy? And the reason they're happy is because their soul is happy just with the building, just with making the money, just with serving people. And their soul doesn't really care to as much of a detail how they do that. And then if you're listening to this and you're resonating with everything we're talking about in this podcast, your soul might be saying, yeah, I could build the thing, I could make money, I could do that, but I want more than that. I want to truly express. I want to help people get past their trauma, or I want to help people find their purpose. Or I want to help people with their relationships, or even more detailed than that, I want to help people who've just come out of divorces, whatever it might be, often based on your life experience, often based on what you care about. So bearing in all that in mind, my number one piece of advice, really, if you're looking at your life, and like Natalia just said, you're not going to feel as inspired when you're not doing the right thing, is really just get present with yourself. Really embrace that. If you're doing something you hate and you're struggling with energy, you're struggling with inspiration, ask yourself, okay, what is the truth that wants to come through? What is it I want to express? Imagine waking up tomorrow, unlimited funds, unlimited time, no responsibilities for kids, for partners, for parents, whatever. What is the first thing you want to do? How do you want to spend your day? How do you want to spend your week? And after you'd been traveling, after you'd spent loads of money, after you'd done what would come after that? What would be the thing that once you've done all the things that you do, if you have loads of money and limited time, what would be the thing then, given all the options? What is it you'd want to do? How do you want to live your life? What is it you want to be known for? What legacy would you want to leave behind? What would you want to create that you would happily create for free? Who would you want to help that you'd happily help for free? And how would you want to do that? What is the expression in your own self? And just letting go of getting a home run straight away. You might have to swing a few bats and miss a few balls, and really just having that courage and being okay with, if you ask yourself, what is my truth, or what is my passion, or what is it I want to do? Tomorrow you might have an idea, you take action with it. 2 days later, you're like, oh, actually, I don't like that. Just be okay with and letting go of the attachment to the thing, the thing that you find being the thing that's your forever. Because that attachment is what actually keeps a lot of people stuck. They're in a job that they hate, or they're in a situation they don't like, and they're so attached to the thing I find has to be the thing, that as a result, that attachment stops them seeing clearly, stops them feeling clearly, and stops them just taking action moving forward, even without it having to be a home run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. For example, I made the wrong choice by opening this business, but luckily I had other resources of earning money, of energy, but for example, I have a friend, and he hates his job, but he told me he needs to pay bills. He has 3 kids, wife, and he needs to feed them, to pay attention that everything is fine. And he hates his job. He can't change it. He knows what he can do, but nobody will pay money for this passion. So it probably takes time. Not probably. I think anything you can earn in any niche, it takes time to spend time to learn with patience, and you can get results, because with passion you can work much harder than many others, and results will come in some day. But when you need to pay bills today, what to do? For example, okay, I'm not passionate about my job. I know what is my real passion, but I need to pay bills. Your insights about that? What to do?
So I think there's a very masculine way of looking at it, and one of the ideas is you give 70% of your time to the thing that keeps you going, that keeps paying the bills, and then 30% of your time you devote to your passion, weekends. And without sounding super harsh, I really invite you, if you say you want to leave your job and you want to do something else, but you're still not doing it, that there's some fear there, there's some attachment there, there's some sabotage at play. But on the other side of things, I would also invite you that if you keep moving forward, taking imperfect action, keep trying. I genuinely believe this in every part of my being, and I've seen it with so many clients, so many members of our courses, that if there is something that your soul wants, there is a next part of the journey, a thing that you want to do next, and your soul wants to have that experience, your soul will move mountains. And if it's truly your truth, something crazy will unravel. Something amazing will happen. Let's just say, give you a perfect example. Let's just say your passion was you want to write a screenplay. You want to write a script for a film. Let's just say that was your passion, okay? And you think about it, you dream about it, you wake up thinking about it, and let's just say you work in accounting. Let's just say, right? You work in this really annoying job in accounting. You hate it every day. You come back super drained. If you can be open to the possibility and really go, I'm gonna lean into the fact that maybe, just maybe, my soul, my destiny is to write scripts, or as I embrace that destiny, I find out actually it's something else, but I'm willing to lean into that. Maybe, just maybe, once a week or every few days, you look for jobs and you find there's a job which blows your mind. Someone literally says, I work in film already. I want someone to be my assistant who's going to help me write my scripts. I'll pay you X amount. And you realize that's something you could do financially. Like there's always options that your soul is trying to bring you. There's always options. There's always, like, if you keep looking, there's always doors being opened. And I think most of the time, the problem is people don't believe that this is coming from soul. They question themselves. Is this my ego? Am I making this up? Who am I to have these dreams? And because there's so much stuff within the media and the collective that we can't live our life exactly how we want to live it, we don't see these doors. And we don't see these openings. So that's kind of two answers on that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Even if you need to pay bills today, you have time instead of watching TV, instead of wasting time with your friends, anything. So just work in other direction. I agree with that.
The other thing with that as well, what I've experienced, and maybe you've seen the same. There are two kinds of people, and maybe if you're listening to this, check in with which one feels like you. There are some people that they need to burn their bridges to to be able to move forward. They need to burn the boats. The Vikings come into America, they burn their boats, and they're like, right, we're committed. We have to go and fight these people because we're not going home, right? Some people need to burn their bridges. Some people, not much happens until they quit their job. Like they quit their job, and then that not wanting to feel the pain, it kicks them into action, right? Some people like that. And then some people literally have to almost have their business or their new thing or their new passion kind of doing okay before they quit their job. Because if they quit their job, it will send them into such a panic that it won't serve either. So there's no right or wrong. And it's really just knowing, if you decide you're going to stay in your job, ask yourself, how many months' wages do I need? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, so that I can quit my job and go for my passion, commit to my passion 100% and not be worried, not be stressed. So it's just really, those three things: quit your job straight away and then go for it. If you've never tried it, maybe that's what you need to try. Or ask yourself, how many months' wages do I need, or how much money do I need in the bank that I can feel I can commit to this thing for some amount of time? Or what would I need to see in my passion? What would I need to have working in my new business, or my new passion, or my purpose, whatever I feel my destiny is, before I quit my job? And make that decision, make that declaration. Okay, by February the 2nd, I'm going to have my new business in X place. I'm going to reassess and then maybe think about quitting my job. But make some kind of decision, make some kind of declaration, because if you just think about it and never make a decision, never make a declaration, never intend exactly what you're going to do by when, before you know it, 6 months, a year has gone by and you're still in the same place.
Yeah, nice. Duke, I have the question about people who don't know about their passion. For example, it's interesting. My 12 years son, he loves playing soccer, and he decided, okay, I wanna play soccer the whole life, the entire life. It's passion. I love it, because he found the way in 12 years, but I know some people who can't even in adult age. They don't know what is their passion. They don't know what to do. So they just do their jobs, but they don't know what they love. Can you tell how to find it? Because I often get this question. I don't know what is the main goal of my life, what I want to leave after me, what kind of legacy I needed, because I don't know my main direction. Tell how to find your passion if you don't know about that.
I mean, there's many answers I can give, but I would say if you haven't done this before, the number one thing you can do is journal every morning. I literally journal every single morning, 3 pages, 3 A4 pages, this size, every single morning. It'll take you 20 minutes, maybe a bit longer. And normally what happens, if you just journal in those 3 pages and just have the intention of like, okay, what is it I want? Or what is my passion? Or what is my truth? And the first page will normally just be like, writing about how you feel, what's coming up, things in your head. The second page, you'll start to feel more kind of stuff that maybe you didn't know were there. And then normally by the 3rd page, you start to feel kind of a connection to something beyond yourself. A voice starts to come through. I'm not saying it's not yours, but it's more than just the mind. It's beyond the mind. And really my invitation, there are so many answers I can give to this. I could say to you, try different things, go to workshops. There's so many different things you can do, but from a spiritual, energetic point of view, I would say 2 main things. Journaling every single day. By the 3rd page, you're going to start to feel the connection. And the more often you can do things that gets you connected to something beyond yourself, to spirit, to source, to God, universe, creator, your soul, whatever you want to call it, and put yourself in places that connects you to that, the more you're going to be able to hear that voice come through. Because most of us, we've spent a whole lifetime pushing down that voice, pushing down our feelings, pushing down that flow. So the more times you can do that, and I recommend journaling every single day, and then maybe get yourself to some holotropic breathwork workshops or rebirthing workshop, or get to some sound baths. Like, do different things that will get you in your body and get you connected. Go to meditation, do some yoga, like do some things in that way, and get more and more exponential with feeling that feeling. Having a connection to source. And then the second thing, in terms of actually connecting to, or what is it I want, and everything else, is really what I said, about 5 minutes ago, is if you imagine, okay, tomorrow I wake up, I've got unlimited funds, unlimited no responsibilities, unlimited time. What are the things I'm going to choose to, what are the things I want to do? And listen to that voice which says, oh no, I couldn't because, my daughter who's 16 needs me. Oh, I couldn't because my boyfriend, what would he think? And I would feel weird. Or I couldn't because if I did that, I might end up alone. And really it's to start delving into the sabotage and the dichotomies And this is quite advanced now, but it's really recognizing the people in your life, especially the people in your life, sometimes the places as well, but usually the people in your life, they are reflecting your fears. They are reflecting the parts of you that feels you have to look after them, or you're not deserving, or you're not worthy. And so many of us are carrying aspects in us that say, if we go and live our passion, we go and live a life exactly how we want to live it, the pain and the suffering, beg your pardon, the pain and the suffering that I saw my mum go through, that would mean that doesn't matter, which means on some level I'm losing my mum. Oh, I don't want to do that. Or if I go and live my passion, I go for exactly what it is I want, my partner who's already, I can already feel a bit of strain, or I sometimes have this fear that my partner will then feel alone, or my partner will feel insignificant or not good enough. And we've got all these subconscious programs running under the surface, all these fears, not wanting to burden people, not wanting people to feel a certain way. We don't feel deserving. We don't feel worthy. If we're completely in our truth, we're going to hurt people. People need us to look after them, be there for them. A lot of these are the common programs, and they're completely under the surface. Most people can't even feel it. And that is stopping us from connecting to that passion, connecting to that voice, because we're disconnecting from it subconsciously. And as soon as we start connecting to that voice, or connecting to that flow, that passion, that calling, we may start feeling really scared. We may start feeling a lot of fear. We may start procrastinating. We may start overeating. We may find old bad habits coming to the surface. And most people go, oh, no, that's not good. And they want to get back in control. But really, there's feelings, there's stuff under the surface that needs to be acknowledged, that needs to be witnessed, that needs to be heard, that needs to be present with and released. And then you'll find yourself being able to take those steps forward. You'll find yourself being able to hear what it is you want. You'll be able to hear that voice, that calling much easier. And most people can't hear it because there's all those blocks and all those layers in their subconscious and held in their body in the way.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. Let's talk about changing habits. For example, many people have bad habits. They know about them. For example, smoking, drinking, I don't know, watching TV, anything. No, yeah, bad habits. Eating unhealthy food, junk food. But they know about them, but they can't change them. And it's hard. It's hard to acquire new good habits and forget about bad ones. Can you tell how to change them? Because many people know it's not good idea to smoke, but they smoke. And I found that people, it takes time to change habits. And I had such problems. For example, I loved watching TV. Yeah, as well, but and I spent some time to change my bad habit to good one, to read books. Right now, I prefer to read more books than watching TV. And even in my new apartment, I have no TV. You know, I love it. You know, the best thing that I can do just not to buy TV to my apartment. And by the way, I recommend to anyone, if you wanna go ahead, if you wanna grow, just read more books because it's foundation of human skills. Can you tell how to change bad habits to good ones if you know these bad habits?
So there's kind of two angles with this, I'd say, primarily. The first thing is I would recommend the book Atomic Habits for sure. And it's all about,
yeah, I know, awesome book.
Making those incremental changes bit by bit. And I would say, especially if you feel your soul having a human experience, sometimes spiritual people, they get too attached because they've had experiences in their life. They get too attached to having one big, massive experience which changes everything. And that sometimes they're waiting for that to happen all the time. And then, and there's merit to that, because the two aspects: make incremental changes, have a structure. This is where I want to go, and this is what I want to move towards. And making that, make like Atomic Habits says, continually adding in bit by bit and getting disciplined with that. But the big thing for me is there's a voice in you, as well as your higher self, your soul, spirit. There's a voice, a lower voice, your lower self, the inner child, the little girl, little boy in you. And that part of you, whatever it is you want to move towards, that part of you needs to know it's in their benefit. So let's just say, for example, I'll use myself as an example. So in the beginning of the year, I thought, okay, I want to lose some weight. I want to let go of some weight, get in better shape. And my conscious mind, my higher self, my soul, my spirit is like, awesome. We're gonna lose weight, and we're going to, drop down to 95 kilograms, and awesome. But then the little boy in me was like, whoa. If I lose weight, I'm not going to be as safe. I won't be able to protect people. I won't be as big and strong. I'll get abused again. I won't be an example for other people that you can be big and strong and not be scary. Like, there's all these decisions that the little boy in me is like, these are all the benefits. Why I want to keep the weight? Why would I want to keep the weight? So a lot of people, when they make a decision of what it is they want, they're not listening to the ego. They're not listening to the sabotage. They're not listening to the little boy, little girl in them, which made the original decision. So for me, when I went through what I went through as a child, I made a decision. If I'm big, I'm strong, I won't get hurt, I can protect people that I love, etc., etc. Those are the decisions I made for my benefit as a little boy. I have to talk to the little boy in me and show my little boy and explain to my little boy and frame the benefits to my little boy. This is why being 95 kilograms is in our benefit. This is how it'll help us. This is how it'll help other people. And I need to give it a new framing. I need to give it a new affirmation. I need to have a new context for that part of me. So most people don't do that. And then they're surprised why they lose weight, put on weight, lose weight, put on weight, because that part of them is fighting them. That part of them is always trying to get control back to feel safe, to feel heard, whatever it is. So within that, having understanding, doing the inner work, connecting to that part of you every day, as soon as you wake up, just check in, like, how am I feeling right now? What age of me feels that way? And imagine bringing out that age of you, have a little conversation, let the age of you know, this is where we're going. This is why we're doing it. This is why it's good for us. You on side? Cool. Right, cool. And then that part of you feels heard. That part of you feels acknowledged. And then that part of you won't sabotage you anymore. And then have a structure, have a plan, read Atomic Habits, put in the daily thing. And then also know as well, if you can get support, be in a group container or get a coach, get a mentor. One of the reasons it works so well is because, again, that part of your ego gets to feel they're not alone, gets to feel love, support, connection with someone else, that it makes it easier to buy into that new reality. So find someone that's already done what you want to do. And if you believe you're a soul having a human experience, trust that even when you just pay the money, most of the work is done, because energetically then you've contracted their energy to take on that embodiment, take on that path. So yeah, that's let's say the main things that most people aren't aware of, especially in this game of energy. You're not just hiring a coach or a mentor or joining a course just to get the information. You're getting the energetic embodiment. You're plugging into that upgrade, and that's why results can be so fast. And then also that sabotage part of you can lean in and go. And especially for me, this is the power of group work. This is why we do a lot of group work. Like, we have groups of 8 to 10, and each week we meet. And then within that group, that little boy, little girl in you gets to see more and more. Oh yeah, I can be me. I can actually be this person. It's safe for me to be me. And really, that's a really, really powerful thing.
Nice, awesome. Okay, let's talk about once I remember one interesting quote from Napoleon. He said, the main problem with many people is that they are listening to their friends, even family members, but they don't need to do it. Can you tell how to listen yourself? For example, I remember when my mom told me I need to be musician. I hate it. But she told me, no way, you need to be musician, go to the school. I love my mom. She made a lot for me, but I was not musician, and I'm not now. I changed this attitude. And right now, I'm trying to listen to my son, what he wants to do. For example, I can't listen to him when he can explain to me that online games are cool. No way, man. You won't play online games. But when he is playing soccer Okay, that's good. That's good habit. Let's do it. Let's spend more time with that. But many people can listen others in their lives. I see when content creators listen to someone who tell you need to film video content. If they are not good with video content, why do you need to do it? Just write, just create other formats. It's better to be yourself, to consider your strong side. Can you tell how to stop listening others, or find something valuable for you? Because if someone tell me how I need to live, it's my life. Sorry guys, just live as you want to live, but it's my life. Can you tell how to listen yourself and listen to others, but good advice?
Cool. So the first thing with this is to check in, and this is quite advanced, is to check in, what is it you believe? And the problem is, most people aren't looking at life through the eyes of the soul. Now, when it comes to your family, from the soul's point of view, your family are there as linchpins. Your family are there as people to make decisions around and attachments. And a big part of the game is breaking free from those attachments. And my invitation to you is to start seeing your family, not just from the human aspect, but trust from the soul's point of view. They love you so much, even if they say terrible things or try and take you off your dreams or try and judge you or put you off or anything like that. Start seeing it from the eyes of the soul that they're there to test you. They are literally there to sculpt you. That when you're able to have the courage of letting your family go and move towards your dreams, that it almost makes you even more hardened and strong than if they weren't there for what's ahead. So start seeing your family from that viewpoint and ask yourself, another little kind of question to ask yourself is, are you going to let your family's perceptions, are you going to let what people say, the fear of judgment, what other people might say, are you going to let that stop you from living your dream? And how long are you going to let that happen for? And if you think about what it is you want, you think about the life you want to live and the things you see for yourself, you're really going to let everything that people say and what they have to say, you're really going to let them, are you going to let them stop you? And so those two viewpoints, first of all, is the first port of call. And the second thing is, I've often heard this, is keep your dreams between you and God, between you and source, between you and creator. And I would invite you, if you struggle with what people say and you struggle with not moving forward with things, if their belief of your dream not working is stronger than your belief, you might find yourself not moving forward, because literally their energy, you'll fall into their frame control, their energy will overpower and you'll find yourself not moving forward. So I'd invite you, try it as an experiment. If there's something you want to do, and you normally tell your mom and she says something bad, or you normally, someone says something to you and it puts you off, try an experiment. For the next month, don't tell anyone. Just keep what you're doing between you, God, angels, whatever you believe in, just keep it between yourself, right? Or only share it with people, a coach or a mentor or people that you know are going to high five you and say you're amazing, go for it. Don't share it with those people and just notice the feelings that come up for you. You're going to have feelings like you're not being your true self, you're not being authentic, you're lying. You're going to have those kind of feelings come up, and just know they're all bullshit. It's just story. It's just your ego, which on some level wants to be 100% accepted by them and be seen to be your true self by them. But at the same time, the human aspect is they don't right now. So keep it just yourself, take action with the thing, towards the thing, and then see what happens. And I'll give you a perfect example. Someone very close to me had a history of not getting a job. Okay, for like 2 years, every time he tried to get a job, he couldn't get this job. And he finally called me up, and I said to him, okay, cool. And he called me up, and he was outside the interview office. Okay, he was just about to have an interview, about to sign the contracts as well. It was all basically he was going to get his job. And just before he went to go into for the interview and sign the contracts, he called me up and he's like, I'm sat in the car and I'm frozen. I can't move. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and we went through the layers, and the advice I'd given him a couple of weeks before that, every single time he tried to get a job, his mum and his brother would have this perception that he'd never be able to keep his job. He wouldn't be able to get this job. And their belief in him not getting the job was stronger than his belief in actually being able to get the job. So I told him, for the next don't tell them from here on in. Now just go for jobs. And now finally, after 2 weeks, he actually had a job offer and he sat in the car waiting to go in and sign the contract, and he's frozen. And it turned out, I took him through a process. The little boy in him, 5 years old, I think it was, something like that, 5-year-old him, had made the decision, looking at his mum, who was super unhappy, he made a decision, I can't have more happiness than my mum because it'll make her feel worse and it'll invalidate her experience. And that's what was playing out. So every time he told his mum, I'm going for this job, she showed up as this bully, telling him you won't get the job, you can't keep the job, you'll amount to nothing. Because that was a reflection of his ego that didn't want to move beyond his mum's experience and invalidate her life, the fact that she'd never had a career. So as soon as we processed this, he got the job, and this was like 2 years ago, and he's had the job ever since. And this is like the first time he's had a job in like 10 years. And it was literally this decision as a 5-year-old because he loved his mum so much that didn't want to move past his mum's experience. So sabotaging himself continuously without realizing, and his mum was showing up in a way that to a human, regular person be like, she's a bully, she's being horrible, she's been judgmental, but it was his reflection. It was his manifestation, his co-creation. So I want you, anyone listening to this, however your family is showing up, know from a soul's point of view, they love you so much, they're willing to show up in different ways so you can get the lesson, so you can release these decisions and you can move forward. And it's just that, it's just these games.
Nice. Love it. Awesome. I have the question about something that stops many people. They are not good enough. For example, I found one studies that most content creators don't record the second episode of podcast, don't write the second article, don't film the second video. Even more, I think, most content creators don't start. They even don't create because they can't create awesome, perfect piece of content. And it's the same with soccer, with any niche, because people compare themselves to some prominent experts. For example, I can't film videos like Mr. Beast or PewDiePie, but these guys spend many years to improve their skills. And I check out a few studies that Mr. Beast filmed videos a half an year to get 1,000 subscribers. So he didn't give up, he just did his job. And but many content creators can't create perfect content. That's why they give up and don't do it. Some of them can hate others. They are not good enough with that. Can you tell about to do something that you love but you're not good? How to go ahead? How stop listening to others that you're not good, that you much worse than many other content creators today, and just to do your job and go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've probably seen this as well. I'll add to the mix. Anyone who ever doubts themselves that they're good enough, look up Ed Sheeran and just type in on Google Ed Sheeran when he first started out, or his voice when he first started out. And Ed Sheeran is on this talk show and he plays a clip of him in the early years singing. And I'm telling you, he was terrible. Honestly, I bet me and you are bad. Honestly, he's that bad. His singing is so bad. But he practiced. Yeah. And I do believe there is an element. This is my truth. And maybe it's just what I believe in because it serves me in my life and how I want to live my life. But I do believe effort and work and focus, more importantly, will always outdo talent and natural skill. However, I do believe if there's an experience your soul wants to have, destiny, let's call it, then if you focus on that and you move forward with that, you will have that outcome almost no matter how good you are. It's because that's what your soul wants to experience. And we've seen this. We've seen actors who are terrible actors and yet they've been in loads of good films. And you're like, what the hell? They're terrible. Or there's some people who can't sing and they've been auto-tuned. Like, I genuinely believe this is what I believe. If you believe it's your destiny and you really feel the pull, let go of the attachment, have this context of like, this is what I believe it is. I'm either going to have that experience, enjoy the journey, get in there and have another experience, or I will learn I don't want it, or I'll get the lesson I'm supposed to get. It's going to be that, learn a lesson or have the experience, one or the other. And then let go of having to have that experience. Like, okay, this is what I really want. can I just lean into that and trust my soul 100% and just commit to it? And I'll either get a lesson or I will have that experience, or both. And then let go of how long it's going to take. Like I think you shared like 20 minutes ago, like when you're committing to something important, you're more than likely going to need to commit 5 to 7 years, more than likely. I mean, it could happen instantly, but have it in your frame of mind that, okay, in 5 to 7 years, I might achieve this. I might have some degree of success. And the problem is most people, they're too attached and they want to hit a home run straight away. And then when they don't get the home run straight away, they feel the sabotage, they feel the feelings they don't want to feel. And that's a big part of it, the inner game. This is what I want to experience. Okay, let me imagine experiencing this. How would that allow me to feel? Okay, I feel like this. Okay, what would that mean to me for me to have this experience? Okay, this is what it means to me, about other people, about life. Okay, now imagine I don't have this experience. How would that feel? What would that mean to me? And check in with both of those aspects, and you'll feel the attachment. You'll feel the stuff that feels heavy. And then ask yourself, where does that come from? What age of me feels that way? When did I first feel those feelings? When did I first have the experience? When I last had that experience? Check in with that stuff, and it's going to help you release loads of the attachment. And then from that place of neutrality, set a new course. This is what I'm committing to. This is my plan for the next 3 months, but I'm also open. It might take loads longer. This is what I hope I will experience, but I'm okay if it doesn't. And just find a way in your own way of framing it. Just find your own way of framing it, and then trust the things that come through. Lean into that. And the more you get a vision, you get an idea, you get a knowingness of something, and you lean into it and you practice with awareness, going for those things, it will get easier and easier and easier and easier. But you have to do the inner work. Acknowledge how you feel, acknowledge the internal dialogue, and then keep on setting a new course, moving towards the vision.
Yeah, nice. Duke, you share a lot of valuable insights. I have the final question. For example, if you wanna leave just one tip from all our conversation, what anybody needs to do, it like must have today, just one piece of advice from our conversation that you recommend to anyone to do every single day?
Every single day, find a way to get present with yourself. Find a way, and it doesn't have to be minutes or hours. It can literally just be truly present in your body. How am I feeling right now? And just noticing how you're feeling, getting present with that. What's my internal dialogue right now? Just noticing what's in your mind, and then just journal. Like, there's loads of things I could give you, but especially if you don't currently have a routine, there's going to be a lot of clutter in there. And if you've got a good routine, I would definitely recommend every other day minimum, visualize what it is you want, connect to that. Every other day, journal, but getting present with yourself. Whatever it is you're doing, truly getting present in your body, in yourself, because when you're present with yourself, the messages, the flows, the feelings, the sabotage, what your inner child is saying, you're going to be more present to that, and you're not going to be as unaware, and you're going to really notice more of what you notice. The problem is most people are too afraid of their feelings, too afraid to feel what's beneath the surface. And all I can promise you, anyone listening, is any feeling that might come up is never going to be more than you can handle. Even if when you were 7 years old, it was, or when you got divorced, it was, when that person broke up with you, or when you lost that money, those experiences happened to give you this fear now. Whatever fear or feeling was to come up and it feels too much, is never going to be too much. But more than likely, that is the thing stopping you from moving forward, being more connected to yourself, being more connected to spirit, being more in flow, being all those things, if you're not currently doing it on a regular basis.
Yeah, awesome. It's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. You share a lot of valuable insights. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Yeah, really simple. Just my name, Duke Sayer, DukeSayer.com, or find me on Instagram, Duke_Sayer, on Facebook, Duke Sayer. Just search my name, you'll be able to find me somewhere.
Okay, guys, you can find the links to social media profiles in the description below. Listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. A big pleasure. Welcome back anytime back, to share more valuable insights. I love it. Guys, you need to follow Duke. You need to reach out to him because you can see a lot of value. If you want to change your life, then start doing this. Okay, guys, love you. See you.